So if you're a shipwright, so that's somebody who constructs, fits, repairs boats, repairs ships, things like that. If you do not have the study, is it necessary to study that occupation in Australia? Well, it's not really, because if you have enough work experience, you may be able to get a full skills assessment based just on your work experience. So in Australia, what they're looking for is that you have a certificate 3 as a minimum. And you've also got at least 2 years of work experience. But if you have 5 to 6 years of work experience full-time working as a shipwright in your country of origin, you may be able to get a full skills assessment if you can prove that you've been working during this whole time. There is a benefit to studying in Australia. So if you want to undertake a course in shipwright and you are thinking, this is what I want to do, the benefit of studying that in Australia is basically you now get, once you've done the 2 years, you now get a graduate visa. So this graduate visa will lead you towards a pathway to permanent residency, because now you have the qualification, now you are gaining experience as a shipwright in Australia. Now you could potentially be sponsored by an employer, or you could even find yourself on a pathway to an independent skilled visa as a shipwright. So it's not necessary, but it can definitely help to study shipwright in Australia. Shipwright, if you have experience in your country of origin as a shipwright, does this count as an experience towards a full skills assessment? It definitely does count as experience towards a full skills assessment. This is really beneficial if you do have experience in your country of origin. Basically, if you want to prove that experience, it's really important that you show the right documents to prove that experience. That experience can really help you because it can, increase your points, for example, under the point system. Or you could be applying for an employer-sponsored permanent visa under the 186 direct entry. That can also assist with that as well. So having experience in your home country is great, as long as you can prove it here in Australia. So the full skills assessment, they're going to look for documentary evidence that you have been working full-time, or that you've been working the equivalent of full-time in your country of origin. So this means having evidence of pay, having a contract, receiving a salary, weekly, monthly, whatever. But as long as you can show you've been receiving an income, this can definitely help for you to get a full skills assessment as a shipwright, which can then lead to you to getting an independent skilled visa, an employer-sponsored visa. There's a few good pathways there for you. As a shipwright, if you're going to have your skills assessed, you're going to be looking at TRA skills assessment. That's Trades Recognition Australia. They're the ones who consider all shipwrights, and they're looking at qualifications or relevant qualifications. If you don't have the relevant qualifications, they want to make sure that you have enough work experience to cover the qualifications that you may need to have. So TRA, they assess a lot of other trades and occupations under those categories. They're an independent skills assessment body, and they make assessments based on the occupation of shipwright as well. What they're looking for is, can you prove your work experience? So this is, do you have documentary evidence? Do you have evidence of pay? Pay slips? Do you have contracts? Do you have things like that? But also, they're looking at, if you are proving you've got the qualifications, do you have the equivalent qualification of what they have overseas to here in Australia? So the minimum requirement is that you have a certificate 3 in something related to, obviously, boat building, shipwright, things like that. So have you been constructing, fitting, repairing boats, doing things like that? If so, TRA will look at your skills, they'll look at your experience, your qualifications, and they'll make an assessment based on that. So TRA is a good starting point. Then it depends, what sort of skills assessment do I need? Do I need one for a short-term employer-sponsored visa? Do I need one for a permanent visa? Do I need one for an independent skilled visa? So this is another thing you need to consider as well when getting your full skills assessment.